Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. We are coming to you live here with the National Oval Racing Association on this fine Monday night. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather outside as well as the cool weather there, as we are definitely dealing with some cool weather here in the Pocono Mountain as we get locked and loaded for the Pocono 500. 120 laps here tonight at 77% fuel limit. That, fortunately, will set these guys with 10 extra sets of tires down in the pits. Now, fixed setup leak, no fast repairs, but, you know, I was talking about cold in the Pocono Mountains. Stella, we are looking at 116 degrees out there on the track, but 81 in the air. Talk about a wild setup here, especially for these Gen 4 cars to be getting around the track.
I was just looking at although it is dry, we're looking at 31% humidity and a little cloud cover.
Yeah, boy, it's going to be a beauty here tonight. Seeing, yep, you may be thinking 120 laps. This may take a little bit, but that's okay. Have no fear. Qualifying did go quite well for one driver, Kevin Baumler. He'll be starting in that number one position, and I guarantee you he is super excited, seeing he has been hot as of late. This guy can't seem to be stopped here lately, and right now I know a lot of drivers sitting behind him. Drivers like Josh Conover, Vincent Arthur, and even right now, I'm kind of circling here, Kyle Rochelle and Dustin Kleba. Right now, I think that number 9 being way down in the bottom of the pack here is very unusual, and hopefully we see Dustin Kleba get up to the front because I think he is the man to beat here tonight, but we will see how that overturns. Pace car is off here, getting up to that 75-mile-an-hour pace speed limit. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid. And yes, I've got a bunch of new names here tonight, so we'll try not to butcher it too bad. Kevin Baumler starting in the number 1 position, and on to his outside, no doubt, Dalton Tucker sits in this number 2 position. Moving on to third, where Brady Moats and Josh Conover, and we move on to Jake Christenberry on the inside of row number 3 with Cody Reeder to the outside. Not bad out there for Evernham Motorsports. Let's see how Vincent Arthur does, as he'll be starting in 7th next to Nick Cressy. Jacob Gladelick starts 9th, and Matthew George sitting 10th. Moving on to Kyle Rochelle to round out our top 6 rows is going to be Nick Gillis. Gillis gets good qualifying positions, but then unfortunately falls off. Let's see what these guys can do when they start marching around him. Logan Hagerman starts 13th next to Derek Chaffee, starting in 14th. See, Stella, I remember that one. Brian Jones in the 15th spot. Dustin Kleba sitting 16th. Moving on to Cody, right now, Cody Smith, Christopher Heights, Kirk Quist, and Cody Height. Boy, definitely a lot of drivers up there I see shifting to the front, especially ones that are looking to do it faster than normal. All right, now guys we haven't seen before start now when we get to Will Moore here in the 21st position. Chance Durham right now currently in 22nd. Stella, I said that right, correct?
I hope so. They're not in the Discord.
All right, well, we'll keep it going. Bradley James 23rd, and Chase Durham right now in the 24th. So it looks like we got a couple of guys, might be brothers out there. We'll check in later. Christopher Darling in the number 25 spot. Heath Ayers, Ross, I believe is Linebach, will be starting 27th. Brad Fulham will be starting in the 28th spot. Moving on to Tommy Smith, who's 29th. And Stella, I'll let you do the number 30.
Hey, we got 30 at John Skevnicki, 31 at Anthony Kroback and Joseph. The third, it says here, I think we are looking probably for Joseph Andujar, sitting in 32nd.
Yep, I can guarantee you that. We'll definitely try to see if I can get that penciled in here and make sure we get these guys going. All right, tons of drivers out here tonight. We are excited to see them get going here. Right now I'm showing 32, but 2 have not taken the wheel. I believe they will be starting from pit road. Those 2 drivers being Brady Moats. He's down 28 from his qualifying position. Looks like penalties, unfortunately, knock him way back. And Tommy Smith in the number 23 car. He'll be starting at the back of the field. Definitely do not want to be laps down here to start the race. This is going to be extremely crucial. I would say for at least those drivers to see a quick caution come out. That way they can get back on stay on the lead lap out there, or if not, get back on it, because it is going to be extremely, extremely tough out there for them to continue this race. As we kind of see, as we peer in here on a couple of the drivers here toward the back, watch Cody Smith out there in the Caterpillar machine. He's going to have his work cut out for him, and we got a lot of work to do here with these guys on the track. Stella, so many drivers, when you're toward the back, you've got to be getting nervous. if you're going to be able to even have an opportunity to fight your way up toward the front. As I see a couple of these guys are shuffling in the back, from the back of the field here. Now, we kind of question a little bit when we see them starting all on the outside line. Any idea why?
I do not. I know several of the fellas are going to have EOLs for late race entry. That would be Quist and Bradley James, Ayers, and more. But why they are hanging all on the outside, I do not know.
All right, Skabenicki is who we're on top of right now as we take off here to start the race. Off we go into turn number 1, everybody's favorite turn because it seems to be the most banked in everyone's favor to hold on to the car as it comes in around the turn. Already on the move is up front Cody Smith, already starting to knock a few down. That gives him 2. He's up to 15. Now going pretty wide there with the number 9 of Dustin Kleba. And I believe to his outside sits the number 12 of Nick Giles. Boy, talk about the number 9 sending it right up the center. I told you Kleba's going to be our guy to watch. He's now up to 11th. That's 5 in a matter of a turn.
My goodness, yes. I was watching Matthew George there on the 25, kind of getting close to that wall, but managing his car well.
Yeah, doing very well they are. Right now I see already getting out of shape. I believe out there is the number 20. I see the Home Depot car having a little shake-up out there as he is definitely having a lot of trouble getting that car to handle. Single file here for the first 10 cars as they dive into turn number 1. Spread out just slightly before we start heading down our little bit of a straightaway, and we'll get back at it. So now you call this a tricky triangle, and for a good reason. Right now this is Kleba following along with Nick Pressey. Kevin Ballmer still leading this race, but battle for second now heats up. Dalton Tucker retakes his position back from where he originally started. Josh Conover held on to it for a little bit, enjoyed it, but he's not going to have it for long. Conover drops back to 3rd. Krista Berry has shifted off to 4th, and Cody Reeder holds on to our top 5 spot.
Yeah, these guys are looking good. They are already racing hard, even though we are just on lap 2. This is a 2.5-mile long track. Got a little shifting going back there in the 20th position. Don't know what's happening, but so far so good. I don't see a yellow. Yeah, you were talking about turn 1. It is the steepest of this track at 14 degrees, which really isn't much when you look at some of the other 2.5-mile tracks with their 23, 24 degree turns. Turn 2 is 8 degrees, so a little flatter, and by the time they get to turn 3, it's darn near a lake. 6-degree banking it all.
All right, I'm glad you bring that up. Right now, well, you were talking about that a little bit. Dalton Tucker overtakes the lead from Kevin Ballmer as he heads through turn number 3 as we see him diving in now. He overtook back on turn number 1. Quick little slide move there, and he was able to complete his pass. So already starting to put the distance on. He's up to half a second. Let's rotate back to Jake Christenberry. I think it's about to be under fire here from Benson Arthur. And guess who I also said it was going to be our sleeper out there? Kyle Rochelle. Rochelle has gained 4. He's currently sitting 7th. But 2 drivers from Evernham Motorsports are sitting behind him, Brian Jones and Dustin Kleba. I tell you what, right now that Evernham Motorsports crew sitting 4, 8, and 9 out there. Right now they are the most consistent team out there on the track. They are definitely doing the hard work and working their way up to the front. Rochelle taking over Vincent Arthur here.
He came in 4th, I believe, just barely off the podium last week at Eldora. So he's definitely rising in the standings for this league.
And we take a look off the side of the DuPont Chevrolet here of Vincent Arthur. Right now, I believe a quick little pass there as they sit side by side. This is Brian Jones to the inside. Right now, he's looking to see if he can dive bomber on in here. And as they do a shootout here to the end, attaboy. Right now, as Brian Jones trying to get a little door draft, there's a little nudge. Vincent Arthur pushes down just a little bit. 45 gets loose and takes the rear end and taps him there. And that's going to get these guys back to the shootout down the backstretch. Oddly enough, backstretch is going to be separated by turn number 2 as they fold on around. Currently, Dalton Tucker still leaving. Kevin Ballmer only behind by about 4/10 of a second there, and they are still chasing and finally getting the clear. is Brian Jones in the number 45. Rochelle still charging up front. Now he has Christenberry in the rearview mirror. He's up to 5th. Amazing work here. Evernham Motorsports continues on with Dustin Kleba here, moving past Vincent Arthur. They're now up to 7th and 8th. Not bad. Cody Reeder still holds 4th. Right now we'll see if he can keep on the 4th, as I believe Kyle Rochelle is starting to pick up the pace, but is he burning those tires off? 6 laps into this one, and we still have guys churning all over the track. One of our biggest movers here does go to Anthony Kroback, who's sitting all the way back here in the 18th spot. Notice him out there, I believe, in the number 70 machine. Yep, the purple car you see on the bottom. Right now, I think to his outside, Kirk Quist in the 77, trying to get a little work done as he follows the 15 of Cody Height. 15, I believe, originally was out there driven by Michael Waltrip in the Napa car. So right now, he's looking to see if he can conjure up a little bit of that Waltrip energy out there and come up with something. Stella, we still have a lot of drivers who I said we're going to shift from the back to the front. Matthew George has fallen down to the 22nd position. Nick Gillis, well, I said he was up front around 12th. Yep, back down to 26th. So right now he's hurting, and he's hoping to see if he can boomerang back and get back to it. But one I like looking at here is notice Christopher Darling out there in the number 16. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, that was driven by Greg Biffle. And he is moving up front as well. 9 positions gained, looking to see if he can come up with a little bit of something. 2023 Speed Tires Plus Cup Series champion. Ain't that something?
Okay.
So they have a previous champion from another league in here, looking to see how he can hang. Right now, he's almost through half of the field as he shifts up to the front. Christopher Heights, unfortunately, sitting about 0.3 of a second in front of him, but he is reeling in that number 2 Miller Lite car.
Yeah, this is looking good. We do have a lot of shuffle going on right now. I think the only person still in the space that he started was Logan Hagerman in the 88. He's still sitting in 13. I did notice also Nick Pressey having a little bit of a tail wag back there when he was challenging Vincent Arthur. So I'm not sure if he's going to be taking that move past him or not.
Yep, we take a look as we move up front back to Brian Jones. Right now, that does secure him the 6th spot. And right now, I guarantee you, these two guys at Evernham Motorsports have got this thing figured out. These two guys have been working together ever since the beginning of the race and have been doing nothing but marching forward. Christenberry now drops to 8th, unfortunately. Christenberry does squeeze down there on Dustin Kleba, seeing if he can slow him down just a little bit, but that is not going to help. Jones and Kleba now up to 6th and 7th. Where's Kevin Baumler land? Baumler has a bad turn, drops off down to 3rd, and that is going to have the guys hitting the brakes behind him of Cody Reeder and Kyle Rochelle. Moving on, that does give him a huge gap, though. Right now, Baumler is trying to catch up to Josh Conover, and Conover's trying to figure out how he's going to come up with almost a second before he can find Dalton Tucker, who's still out there in the fresh air enjoying this race.
Yeah, they are in the fresh air is right. There is a full second between Dalton Tucker and Josh Conover right now, as you said. But who are we watching here? Kyle Rochelle?
Yep, Rochelle to the outside.
Woo!
That goes in and puts Reeder, and almost looked like he was standing still there for a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, what an amazing turn 1 exit. Rochelle has obviously found out that groove. And I'm looking at his timing. Currently, he's running the fastest time exiting turn number 1. So that is something with a 56. Right now, I'm showing, let me see, a 27.58. So that is still scooting out of there as he shoots on by. This will go ahead and give Kyle Rochelle 7 positions gain, now up to 4th. Stella, we've got a lot of drivers here, and especially the new ones. I do want to check in on Chance Durham here, currently sitting in 25th. Right now, the 97 car having a little trouble out there. I think he's running in Gillis's old car, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Gillis, I thought, used to run in the 97 Sharpie machine.
Remember the Sharpie part, but not the 97 part.
Okay, well, that means Gillis has shifted into the 12. Yeah,
oh, he's had a couple of different ones.
Gillis is in the 12. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
checking some of my notes here. Yeah, some of these guys have been shifting around out there.
Yeah, at some point I believe he was in the 6 even. So.
Yep. Andujar right now is trying to get something going in the U.S. Army 01.
Yep, here he is in the 97. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
At the beginning.
Now, who in the world is that? I'm looking right now. Derek Chavieux out there, currently in the 38. That is the third lap. I've seen that 38 pop out on the exit of turn number 3, way to the inside. And his car is tail whipping around, almost like how you said Presley was doing. So I don't know how much longer his car is going to handle that kind of beating, especially how long they have to wait before they come down in the pit. Right now, Rochelle does give up his position here to Dustin Kaleba. Kaleba and Brian Jones have switched positions, and now Kaleba's starting to take off. Boy, talk about a terrible qualification time by Dustin Kaleba, but he has figured it out now that the tires are finally seeding in. Stella, I'm looking at some of our pit stop times may nudge around about that lap 20 mark. Some guys may be able to go farther, some a little less. I would say strategy is going to come into play a lot here tonight. We're going to see a minimum of at least 4 to 5 pit stops. Who's going to be coming out on top? Who may short pit? And does anybody have a different line on this than somebody else? Vincent Arthur now is returning back to his qualifying position of 7th. Reeder now falls down to 8th. So looks like the Abraham Motorsports Group, 2 of the 3 are getting it here, and unfortunately Cody Reeder's falling back.
My goodness. Yeah, they are definitely playing a bit of musical cars, but that's all right with me. I like to see a few different leaders, a few different people in podium. Yeah, that's part of racing.
Yep, right now we're seeing Cody Smith looking to see if he can put Cody Reeder behind, and he does. Quick pass there as they get through that last turn. And, oh, Cody Smith washes up toward the edge of the wall for turn number 3. Do not want to enter turn number 3 too early, and that's what's going to end up happening. Let's see if Cody Reeder considers shooting past him here as they shoot into turn number 1. Right now it's a drag race, and the 22 of Cody Smith able to escape. Boy, that was close. Right now, a couple of drivers like Kevin Ballmer are in trouble. Currently, Kaleba has shifted and gone ahead and passed for 3rd. Boy, that gives Dustin Kaleba 13 positions gained here on the night in the number 9 Dodge. Currently, Casey Kane is riding shotgun with him out there. He's got a good feeling out there in the number 9 Dodge. Right now, Kaleba may want to just dial it back a little bit and think longevity. It's going to be a while before you can reach out there to Dalton Tucker. At least 2 seconds before Dustin Kaleba will be able to find him. But he's got Josh Conover to contend with next.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at was some of our spacing here. We've got this group up finishing up with... Oh.
Bradley James out there, and the number 41 is around in turn number 3. Currently facing back at the field. Right now, one of our target cars is down and out here. Currently, Kyle Rochelle is doing a heck of a job in his target car. Right now, he's got one painted on him. Right now, trying to see if he can maintain mobile. Remember, no fast repairs here at the National Oval Racing Association. So he is going to have to fix a good chunk of that damage as we see him shooting past pit road, which is unfortunately closed right now. He's got to get around the track and catch back up to the field out there. First caution here of the night on lap number 13. And Dalton Tucker's 1.5 to 2 second lead is scrubbed.
Yes. And so is what I was going to talk about, which was we had like several different clumps that we had nice 2 second separations between the front 6 and then Vincent Arthur to Chase Durham, then another 6 down there. It was but there was a lot of activity in between those little clumps.
Yep. We'll take a look and see what happens to the 41 here when we head underneath and see what happened. Right now, the 41 looks like does it get some assistance here?
Oop.
Oof.
That hurt.
Yeah, that was a hard hit to the wall. We'll see what kind of damage he has suffered. Let's see if we can get more of the chase copter cam from the Michelin view. Here he is. Yep. Oof. That's going to be a racing incident. I really can't blame either one of them. It didn't look like somebody rode high. It didn't look like anybody came down. And they were just that close.
Now,
Wow.
something I do have to ask, we've got viewers out there, but we have absolutely no chatters. Is it just me not seeing anybody? Or do we not have any chatties?
Maybe no chatties. I know some of these guys do like to listen to the broadcast as they go. We're taking a look off the back here of Kurt Quist and see if we can see anything happening here. Whoa, the tie. Yep.
Yeah,
Purple car comes on
that's
down.
kind of where I was going with that one.
Okay. Well, that's why we get multiple angles here of our cautions. And then that way you guys can see it. Pit road. Busy, busy, busy. Who stays out?
Oh, yeah.
Cody Reeder.
And that is all. Everybody else comes in.
Yep. Now, I believe this should give Brady Moats an opportunity to get back onto the lead lap. Trying to take a look here.
Down,
3 laps,
he's
isn't
down
he?
too many. Yeah.
Bummer. All right, well, we'll take an eye out there. Right now, I see a couple of guys coming down. Whoa! Issues down pit road, the 49.
Oh.
I believe that should be of Linebach. Is around.
Again, all by himself?
No, it looked like he was trying to enter pits. And did not happen. Let's take a look and see what happens to Linebach here. He comes into pit road.
Yes. Okay.
All right, remember how many are shuffling.
Oh,
Good job by our drivers staying to the outside.
yes, but that red car cannot pass him as he did.
Oof. It looked like he stalled out. What
Well,
happened?
I'm
Why was he
looking-
going so
I
slow?
think- Well, he missed his number. He's looking for his number because where he got hit, 49 is not up there.
Well, remember you can't pass under pit road, but currently he is right now too slow. So the 49 misses his mark here. And the 16 is up to speed. Yeah, he's noticed it's missing. Can't find it. Starts slowing down here.
Yeah, he missed it. It was right there. But
yeah, I understand.
I was talking
but
about
he was well under speed.
Yeah, I was looking at the red car that passed him and headed into his pit. But then 16 comes up and whaps him from behind. Now, I think that was 16. Yeah. How bad could that damage be that just happened to Christopher Darling?
We'll take a peek. Right now, you hate to see Christopher Darling, getting in some damage like that. Let's see the drone footage.
Oof.
There it is.
My goodness.
Yeah, if I were Christopher Darling, right now a race like this is going to require a lot of aerodynamic speed. He might want to come down pit road and have that pulled out really quick. But I don't know if he can spend that kind of time down in the lane. So rough start here. Linebach finally finds his pit box. Out he's going to go. Let me see if I can find the drone footage from the back. And see if we can find something here. Looks like he survived.
Yes. Do you think the shape of these cars, it just wedged in up under him?
Yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible. All right, so pit road shuffles all up again. Josh Conover will now have the lead as his, he had a stellar pit time.
Yes, a good half a second faster.
Yeah, 14:35 in the box, but 40.3 in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, fantastic time there by Josh Conover. All right, first caution coming to an end. We see Barney with the green flag out. We'll be back underway here in a matter of seconds. Here we go, green flag. Budweiser machine getting going again. Drivers all single file here. Who starts popping out? Well, first taker is going to be Vincent Arthur. And Dalton Tucker takes a peek, but knows better. He's going to continue on. Let's move back to Kyle Rochelle, who's under fire. And a bad move by the 24. Takes out Kyle Rochelle and puts him into the wall here. And I guarantee you it's going to be some talking there. Yep.
Nice.
Tune in to see what they've got to say to each other.
Thanks, Rob.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I think it's okay sometimes. It gives you a judge of character sometimes. If you make a bad move, you know, if somebody says something. Vincent Arthur has fallen down to the 11th position. And I think right now we've got guys shuffling all over the track. Nick Pressy's internet looks a lot better here tonight. He's shifting up to 9th. Yep, he's now up to 9th. As currently Kirk Quist slides on around. Conover leading this race, but just barely. As Kaliba had him under fire there for just a moment. But who's under fire the most is Kaliba. Right now, I believe Dalton Tucker is looking to see if he can slide around the outside. And right now, a set of 4 tires for all these drivers. I would say it's almost suicide not to take tires. You got enough of them. Let's use as many as we can. Kleba finally gets the clear here on the 42, and he might have the opportunity to have Brian Jones, his teammate, pinch him here before he gets in the next turn, and he does. Fantastic move here by Brian Jones to the inside, and Dalton Tucker bumped out of any podium positions here. He'll be looking from the back of the field. Well, the back of the field as far back as he's been here tonight. Currently now down to 4th. Let's roll back to Hagerman. I believe Logan Hagerman's in some trouble right now. Let's take a look. As I believe our next caution is out, I see somebody back here in pieces. Right now, I don't know if the 97, if the woes continue for the car. That is a broken left front tie rod. That car is crab walking. He's done for tonight. 97 having a tow. Whoa.
My goodness.
That's
Ross Leinbach. At least he's still moving.
Yeah. Worst part is I don't know if this started back here with Bradley James. Right now I'm looking to see what happened to Bradley James here. Notice okay.
It's way up there.
Yeah, you see the 97 getting sideways here.
Yeah, but
ouch.
Crunch. Yeah, I saw Anthony Kroback take it to the wall, which caused a whole heck of a lot of smoke with everybody checking up. Yeah, find out where the first domino is the trick at this point.
All right, let me see if we can get far enough here to find out what. Yeah, no. Something. It starts at turn 3. It looks like he's almost touching the rumble strips here, which gets him out of shape. The 70, I think, rotates up and knocks the 97.
Here we go. Yep.
But Stella, I would take another look at this. Let me see if we can find a better angle before we even start and see who.
Matthew George.
Does the 97 already sideways? Clink.
Yes.
Matthew George gets pinched. And the 97 just folds back and takes out Bradley James. Boom.
Yeah, that definitely ruined his night.
Yep. Here's what it looks like from Bradley James' car. Oh!
No!
All right, second caution here of the night. Lap number about 19, lap number 20. And this gets pretty bad right now. Chance Durham is going to be sitting down there in pits for quite some time. Stella, this will give an opportunity for Brady Moats to collect yet another lap.
It is.
Now, the problem is hopefully everybody gets cues up here and knows the lap car is coming through. Because right now, time is of the essence. Right now, he's got to have this thing to the floor to get around in case everybody's considering pitting. Right now, it looks like everybody in the top 18 are not. Everybody from there on back is. Pit road getting busy. Looks like the 49 almost missed his pit again. A little cockeyed on the way in there.
heavens.
Yeah, or
There
here,
we
how
go.
they say here in Tennessee, a little cattywampus. We'll see. Kurt Quist riding way down toward the bottom, trying to make sure he stays out of everybody's way as cars are passing. Currently, I think
He's
Brady
up 10 for the
Moats.
night. He'd like to keep that.
Yeah.
Keep it that way.
Now, I'd expect to see Brady Moats might come in and pit here. Yep. Good idea. Okay. Closed pits? Maybe not. We'll take an idea. I know iRacing hasn't completely hammered that out. Huge update is coming here to iRacing for those that don't know out there. The Gen 4 cars are getting a facelift. We are finally going to have, right now, you are currently seeing all Chevy bodies out here. The decals elect if somebody's in a Ford or a Dodge. And we're going to be shifting, at least getting the Chevrolet and the Ford out there. So there will be some definitely new, rounder body styles out there, and I think a lot of guys are going to enjoy that. Inside the car is going to change a little bit, and a lot of the tracks are going to be updated. Fortunately, we run legacy tracks here in this 04 season, so it won't affect these guys too much. I know that Legacy Charlotte is supposed to be, I think, being eliminated.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Yeah, and a couple other tracks, I believe, are getting changed up as well. I'll see if I can get maybe a little more in on that of what exactly is coming up.
How will that handle?
Yeah, tracks being retired tomorrow is going to be the Legacy Charlotte of 08, current Charlotte, current Richmond, the current Sonoma, current Gateway, and Legacy Lime Rock of 08. All those tracks will be getting the brand new versions.
Okay, so... Okay, all right, you said current Richmond. I was freaking out. I'm sorry.
Yes,
they're not...
all getting a new rescan. So as the track is worn down, the track has gotten a little different. If there's been a repave on only the inside line, that is now all going to be updated.
Okay. Now, when you say a Legacy Charlotte will be leaving, how does that work with this league using Legacy Charlotte in October?
Well, we'll see switch back and forth. I don't know 100% if that's going to get rid of Legacy Charlotte, which was known as Lowe's Motor Speedway, with the yellow walls. We'll kind of hold our breath and see what is going to come of that. I don't know if it's being eliminated or if it's being updated. I think that one is being eliminated. So how does that handle here? It's going to be a crapshoot. We may have to unfortunately go back to the other. It's like racing Atlanta. We no longer race Atlanta Super Speedway out there. We race the what now is the Legacy Atlanta. We say we get this back under green here. Lap number 23. On to lap number 24. Let's get the Pocono 500 back underway here with the National Oval Racing Association. Josh Conover, Dustin Kaleba still hold our number 1 and 2 spots. Brian Jones is sitting in third. Couple of tumble-ups here in the back already. Cody Smith looking for position as he tries to get up to the front. Cody Smith holds on to 6th, and I believe that is Kurt Quist to the inside. Yes, it is. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a better look there as Chase Durham right now, unfortunately, fortunately has moved up, but I believe Chance Durham has moved down. Right now, he's currently sitting in the 31st spot, and that is painful. Right now, Kurt Quist, you said he moved up 10. Well, yep, he gains and holds on to 10, but doesn't seem to be having any issue with Vincent Arthur getting around him. I've got to say, Christopher Darling right now in the number 16 car. Currently sitting 10th, was taking a look at Kurt Quist. Kurt is all over the place right now. I don't know if these tires have glazed a little bit since the last time he hit, back on lap 15. He's been through one caution, let him cool down, and I'm hoping they're going to stick back to the track. And he's hoping the same as well if these guys can get him to scuff up and get going.
Yeah, well, this track at this point remains at 122 degrees, so it's not going to take long.
Yeah, right now, a lot of movement there out of the 16 as Cody Height's looking to the inside. Height trying to see if he can get the pass. We move on to Skavanicki. We've been here before. Right now, trying to see if he can make the checks machine get on through. I see Christopher Darling holding the outside, though.
Has he had that front bumper fixed, or could he be battling some of that too?
He is still battling that, and I think he's going to be dealing with that most of tonight. Look who's shooting across the line. That is Dustin Cleva in the lead.
Followed by Josh Conover and Brian Jones, up 12 for the night.
Yeah, I wouldn't say right now, Conover and Brian Jones. Looks like Brian Jones is going to get a hold of Conover here and make a quick pass. Right now, still holding on to the Budweiser machine of Conover. Conover sitting there fighting him. Right now, not wanting to give up an inch here. Right now, that is right out of the driver's window. Looking at Brian Jones. Jones has done this before. When he knocked into Vincent Arthur? Tumble up here.
Watch Dalton Tucker. He's gonna wait for the carnage or pop right through the middle as soon as they open up.
Well, these guys have raced beside each other once before, and they know exactly what they need to do. But unfortunately, turn entry is what's going to kill Josh Conover here. That's going to knock him to third. Now to fourth. See if he can get some sort of turn entry that's being used a little bit in the track. He's unfortunately falling back. Terrible turn entry, and that was unfortunately caused by Brian Jones. Good move there to keep him held toward the top. That definitely sets him off his game. Conover's got to reset. Stella, right now this race has been action-packed since green flag on the first start here of the race. Guys moving up, guys moving down. I would like to highlight our guys 8 through 11. Durham is up 16, Quist is up 10, Cody Height is up 10, Christopher Darling is up 14.
And I'd like to note, even though Nick Gillis is right where he started, he was all the way down here in the 20s and has worked his way back up.
Yep. He is also another one of those drivers that did not pit there on lap number, I believe it was lap number 21. He came down on 15. But notice the 12 seems rather out of shape. You said something. Scavanicki gets around. Will Moore gets around. And I think Jake Christenberry is looking to get around. At 3 drivers down that front stretch. And now Gillis has fallen down to the 15th spot. Oh, no!
In the grass.
Will Moore. Right now, this is really bad here with the Walt machine. Will Moore, I think you could probably give the guy a round of applause. He could have taken out the entire field. Great job here by the 17.
Back in the grass.
Oh!
I mean,
boy, he's got to get back in the groove here. Right now,
he's got to get up to speed.
Yeah, well,
he might be changing his shorts.
He's got to get back in the draft, though. Otherwise, it's just going to continue the bleeding here. 28th is where he finally halts.
Ouch.
Yeah. All right, let's check in on Christopher Heights. I think Will Moore has got it. And the hard part is when a mess up like that happens and you make a good save is resetting yourself. Right now he's in the race. He's thinking, I just lost 15 positions by diving down a little too deep, and now it's caused a problem here. As we hop on top of Christopher Heights in the number 2. Not a hit bad. We haven't seen Heights out there on the track for a little bit. Now glad to see the Midnight car back out here and battling on the track. Currently he is
now going in the grass wouldn't damage him in any way, would it?
No, unless he's got some debris into that front grille. Boy, is that Jacob Gladelick? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. I don't know what he was doing, but he did it fast.
All right, a couple of deep breaths here. A couple of the drivers see, see that 20, he's just snapping too hard off that turn.
Yes.
And I think Will Moore finally has done it.
Oh my heavens.
Now that's how you enter pit.
He's not done. Jeez. All right.
Whoa. Do it again.
Okay. Yeah.
What in the world happened here? Did he break loose? Did he have a mechanical failure? Here he is sliding.
Oof. I think this is, if I had to question, it almost looks like like something is stuck. Either brakes ain't working or accelerator is on full.
All right, well, we'll watch the infield car care center and see if something has happened, if he fixes it. Take a look who's out of line, the number 15 of Cody Height. Height keeping the roll on. So right now, Cody Height is moved up 11 here on tonight. But you guys join us here in the broadcast or out there, I believe, on his Twitch. He streams from what it is inside the car. We can give you a little bit of that here. Wow. Curtin Quist just barely takes that Kodak machine and squeaks by. Cody Height thought he had him there. Dive into turn 2. You know he wants to lean right back on the gas. He lets off. Turn 2 used to be my favorite as that roll through. You definitely can make a lot of passing there. Turn 3 is almost the devil for most guys here. They say if you can conquer at least 2 of the turns, you'll figure it out on the 3rd.
Yeah, well, you can get some practice, I mean, on some of them, because turn 2 is to duplicate Indianapolis, and turn 3 duplicates the Milwaukee Mile. So, turn 1 is
short track
Trenton.
guys. So short track guys are pretty good on turn 3. Super speedway guys are good on turn 2.
There you go. So that's why everybody has their favorites.
Yep. Currently we're moving in on Chase Durham. See him bumbling around out there in the roundup, number 99. Ouch! Shot to the wall. Boy, kind of reminiscent out there, if I'm not mistaken, of Jeff Burton. Slammed to the wall there here at Pocono. Burton didn't have a whole lot of luck here. Somebody who did is Vincent Arthur and Jeff Gordon. He had a lot of luck at Pocono. See if we can keep this roll good going. Stella, looks like everything is finally fizzled out here and taking a little bit of a break. Let's check back in on Cressy and Jake Christenberry. I believe Christenberry's diving to the bottom here. A huge run by the 19. See Cody Reeder almost pick up 0.2 of a second just through that turn. Let's see if that thing kind of keeps going. Let's take a look. This is a zoom in from our broadcast tower looking out. Cressy has a lot better internet connection. Normally we're chasing that net zero car around. Fortunately, it looks like he's got it figured out here. All right, that's through turn 2 into turn 3. Cody Reeder looking for a groove here. See if he's got him. Right now, great turn here by Cody Reeder. A little slide job up in front of the 48, and he should have him. See if we can get a little closer to the action here. As right now, this group of cars is held by Skavanicki, who's currently in 12th. Wait for Pressy to make this pass. Pressy looking for it. Oh, Pressy gonna wash up. Breaks a little bit sideways. That's gonna give Cody Reeder middle of the turn. Reeder having to check up. Reeder's got nowhere to go as the 48 of Christenberry, or the Jimmy Johnson car out there, to the outside. Boy, yeah. Right now, you can see Cody Reeder. Look at that.
Goodness.
Yeah, Cody Reeder hard on the brakes and saves it.
Now, I am going to make a quick comment. This overcast is ghastly. We are down to 114 degrees. So if these guys made any kind of pressure adjustments for the 122 temperature it was just 15 laps ago, there's trouble.
Yep.
Cody Smith, down pit road.
Yep, looks like number 22 coming in. Well, figure lap number 15 is when they pit. 20 laps puts us at 35. So just about time for our fuel window to start opening up for some of our guys out there. The ones who came in on lap 21 will split this field in half. Christopher Darling now looking here for the 9th position. Kurt Quist to the outside. And Quist is going to wave goodbye. Darling is now going to be able to start pulling away here. That was the battle out there for the 9th position. Pressy, I think. Yep. I think Cody Reeder just got around him there. He said enough brake checking. He sends it in. He'll deal with the consequences after. Finally gets it clear. As we see these guys fly on by. Top speed of some of these drivers between 194 and 207 miles an hour. 207 actually held out there by our driver in the 15 car.
Cody.
Yep. Great job here by Cody Height. We had him on board here for just a moment as he has been on the move. Cody Height now up 12. Still not many takers to pit road, as I say, Pocono and Baumler on their way in. We got one more joining. Jake Christenberry will be working his way in. This is going to separate the field something fierce here. No race chunks. These guys will be separated. Yeah, notice already.
Race chunks. That's good. That's what I was trying to describe earlier. Jacob Gladelick coming in with that bunch also.
Yep. Finally getting into his pit box. It's pretty hard for the drivers not to get speeding penalties at a track like this. When pit road speed is 60 miles an hour, and we've got to slow down 140 miles an hour to make it. That makes it pretty tough here.
Now I have a question to ask. Cody Smith just laid down fastest lap of the night, and he is not going as fast as some of these other fellows. So how's he managing that?
Clean air.
Ah.
Clean air and fresh tires.
Oh, and wall riding.
Yeah, well, he's trying not to. Right now, he's trying to ride this speed out as long as he can. Right now, Cody Smith was able to pit and get back out there, and I do not believe he went a lap down. So, excellent job. Get back out there. 40.8 seconds in the midst of their 55-second laps. Now, I will say Dustin Kleba's going to be looking to run him down here. He's got a long way to go. Yeah, currently, if I'm taking a look, trying to look at the timing here from Cody Smith, he's got to make up about 14 and a half seconds to catch him. Good job by Cody Smith. All right, quick update. Dalton Tucker, Chase Durham, Christopher Darlings, Gavin Nickey coming on down. Looks like Nick Giles is coming on down.
Joseph Andujar.
Yes, Andujar is coming down. Butcher that guy's name about 12 times. Hopefully he stays here in the league so I can get this knocked down. Appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. We're bringing you the Pocono 500. Lap number 40 coming up with Dustin Kleba in the lead. He has been battling a long time to get into this position. Currently started 16th in the field, and he'll be heading down pit road as Brian Jones takes over. Not bad passing the baton to a teammate as they continue this roll. Lap number 40 is underway. Dustin Kleba, Vincent Arthur, Cody Height, Kurt Quist. Yep, throwback coming on down. I like that name, throwback. I like to see him up front. I call his name a whole bunch. It just sounds like a good name, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't kill that one?
No. Like throwback to the inside, you know? That sounds really good.
Ah, okay.
All right, Brian Jones is the last driver off the lap 15 pit that remains out there on the track. First person on lap number 21 pit is going to go to Cody Reeder. Everybody thought Cody Reeder was out of his mind coming down and pitting so early and getting 4 tires and fuel, but now he's going to be able to lead, I think, another 5 to 6 laps with a 3-second gap between him and Logan Hagerman.
Here comes Brian Jones. He's decided to bring it in.
Yep. Now, Stella, we've seen Pocono here, and this track does not bring a lot of cautions. With a field this size, it can get separated and spread out pretty well, but it's known for its green flag racing. And we're right now seeing Cody Reeder out front. There's a possibility this guy may have something. If he can pit on strategy, if this thing goes green all the way to the end, this guy could pit on strategy and end up winning this race.
coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yes. But I am looking, you know, no offense, but a lot of new drivers here. We don't know what their, you know, what their capabilities are. They don't know each other as far as, ooh,
Yep.
that hurt.
Pressy.
Was that pressing
Yep,
into
that
the
was
wall?
pressy into the wall.
But I would venture to say this racetrack has about an average of 6 cautions. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but
Not bad. We are up to 3. Checking out there in the chat. Looks like my wife is the only one who's out there alive. That's all right. We'll go ahead and spread this around out there. 20 of you guys actually consistently watching right now. Appreciate you guys joining in. National Racing Association was getting nervous out there that maybe too many drivers and not enough seats. I say there's still time. Get your butt back out here and try again. Guarantee there are still seats to fill. Kyle Rochelle, Christopher Heights, Bradley James down pit road. Currently in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, he'll be penalized for that one. Bradley James, you got to enter and exit 3 pit stalls. So we'll see if RC notices that. I see Race Control Greg hanging out there in the NORA hauler. All right, who else is coming down? Nick Pressey, Derek Sheffield, and Matthew George. Now, Stella, didn't Matthew George end up serving a penalty at the beginning of this race? He was not allowed to qualify?
I did not have that.
Okay, I believe he had too many incident points, and unfortunately, that did not allow him to get started here. Right now, qualify cannot for the race. And I do not believe he was able to qualify.
Yeah, he was not listed in here under race penalties.
Okay.
Because penalties were not issued through Eldora, so the ones from Dover, the only one that would have been affected.
Cody Reeder, Logan Hagerman, and Brad Fuller coming on down. I don't know if you notice, even in the penalty appeals, broadcast is used.
I'm kind of glad to be here. I just had a serious technical glitch.
Awesome.
Yeah. No.
All right, so remember when we were talking about how our pit strategies with our guys out here and what this is going to do to the field? Look at where everybody is now. We're spread over 2/3 of the track.
We are.
Cody Smith was our first driver to come down pit road on lap number 34. Right now, he is unfortunately halfway through his fuel run. Out in the lead by about 1.3 seconds, but Dalton Tucker is starting to gain. Only 1.2 behind. You know, but how when you're a driver like Kyle Rochelle in the 39, he's now off by 29 seconds off pace.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's very odd because the guys who are out there, you almost see everybody pit at the same time. You know, everybody comes down within 2 to 3 laps. We got guys with a 10-lap spread. And it's really changing everything up here is why so many guys are off pace or so many guys are falling behind. So Cody Smith, you said he was knocking down the best time of the night with a 55.48. Right now, Dalton Tucker's got him to now within half a second. Here he comes. Dalton Tucker be looking to lead some laps here, as right now Cody Smith seems to be falling victim to him here. As we get our battle box up.
Yeah, last lap time was 57, so he's already got a 2-second fall off, whereas Dalton Tucker's running a 56.5. So it just stands to reason he's going to be catching up to him.
But Dalton Tucker only has a lap advantage on his tires.
Correct.
You would think, you know, he would have a 7-8 lap advantage, being able to run those times. So I think Cody Smith may have burned his tires off way too early here.
Never like to hear that.
Nope. But normally we do have some Cody Smith fans out there that do tune in. And we're about to, unfortunately, I believe, watch the Caterpillar machine head on down to the second position. As Cody Smith swings way to the outside here for turn 3. That's going to put Dalton Tucker and the 42 Haviland back in the number 1 position here tonight. Not bad for starting second. A couple of pit stops and caution flags. 3 to be exact, and it returns back to the lead. Right now, some of his adversaries out there have been giving him most trouble. Brian Jones currently sitting 3rd. Right now, he is starting to reel him in about a 10th every turn. And I think Brian Jones pitting on lap number 40. That'll give him a 2-lap tire advantage on Dalton Tucker. A lot of drivers faster coming up here on Cody Smith. Let's see. Hey, LJ Hernandez. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Rooting on the 45 machine out there, Brian Jones.
Nice.
Yep, that goes in and gives him the number 2 position. This is them coming across the line.
Nice. Yeah, where did we jump back to there?
To the 9th position back here with Anthony Kroback.
Aha.
Let's see if he's got anything going. I think Dustin Kleba has been doing some work back here. Right now he is, boy, he's pushing Cressy.
17th.
Yeah, sorry, some right front damage there to Cressy. It looked like Kleba was burying the nose of his car into the back of that Chevy.
Run out of fuel or something. He's got only 10 laps on.
And right now we hop on board here. A little loud there on when Dustin Kleba. Looks like Nick Gillis from 15th to 17th.
They pass him quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah. Taking a look here, I wasn't sure. I thought Kleba was working on cutting the engine out there. His engine seems to die off as soon as they pass. And Matthew George coming in on lap 42. He'll have some sort of an advantage here.
Yeah, Hagerman and Chaput also came in that late, 42 and 43.
Boy, look at Gillis. Way high. Yeah, pretty ugly. Now, all right.
500 trees. They put 500 trees along there. Sorry. They had a big landscaping thing in the 90s. Kind of try to beautify it. But they also put in safer barrier and a whole lot of fencing.
Yep. Well, wasn't there a whole lot of fencing? Because I thought a bunch of people ended up dying here in Pocono.
Yes. Well, one was the reason for the safer barrier wall, and the other one flew up over the top. And that's when they went ahead. Always, you know, after the fact, went ahead and put in a bunch of that fencing.
Huh. Yeah, checking back in here on Fulham. Right now, currently sitting in the 28th position. Brady Motes has been fighting for his life to stay on the lead lap here. I don't know if he's going to be in some trouble. Right now, I think, looking at Brady Motes, right behind him sits the number 20 car, Jacob Gladwin. Boy, okay. All right, Stella. First driver to retire here for the night is Will Moore in the number 17 DeWalt car.
Ah.
Yep, so the Matt Kenseth machine is down and out.
Yeah, that was a That was a rough set of incidences they had there.
You almost want to give it to him. Like I said, that dude saved it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
I mean, he had about 8 cars behind him and saved the car. And which is really odd. Normally, in NASCAR, they would have thrown a caution for debris on the track. And it would have saved his race, but unfortunately, we stayed green. And which kind of undid his night here.
Yeah, actually, heading into pit road and having that wild and crazy time was, I think, what might have sealed the deal.
Yeah, funny you mentioned pit road. Cody Smith revisits down pit road on lap number 50, and he's back at it again. Does he take a different approach this time and try to be a little easier on the car? I mean, yeah, he knows this car's got the speed, but it did not have the longevity. So does Cody Smith back it up a little bit? We'll see. So we'll keep an eye on the timing of the number 22. See if I can shift back up to Dustin Cleveland. He fought himself up to the 13th spot, getting around Presley. Honed in on there for a moment as Presley was getting pushed down the front stretch. Looks like Kaliba gives up and goes in and gets around the number 0. Up 19 positions goes to John Skavnicki, who's currently sitting in the 11th, out there in the number 43. Stella, the last winner here at Pocono during the 04 season went to 48.
Jimmy Johnson.
Johnson? Okay. Speaking of which, that moves us to Jake Christopher a little farther ahead. He's currently in front of Cody Reeder. Darling's now shifted up to 8. Interesting race here so far. What can you, kind of how we're coming up on the almost the halfway point of this race, what can you kind of take away from what we've seen this film?
Oh, the more the merrier.
More cars?
Yes.
Okay.
I like having lots to look at, I have to admit. I mean, it's, you have more chances of passing, more chances of cautions, more chances of you know, just racing versus, you know, just kind of practice.
Yep.
I don't know. When they're all spread out, it just feels like practice.
Take a look at one of our drivers from Roush Racing out there, Christopher Darling. Stella checking on it in profile picture. We are one and the same.
All right.
I remember right back in the day, not sure if he's still doing it, Christopher Darling out there with Max Graphics Designs. Last time he was at Pocono. That guy led a ton of laps. And right now I think he's trying to do the same coming late into the season. And starting 17 positions farther back than his 8th position he's currently holding. Certainly this is an awesome job out there by him. But the one to beat out there is Kroback, who's now up to 6.
Yes. Yeah, he's up 25 for the night, but that's not taking anything away from Chase Durham, who's up 21. So some of our new, you know, John Skavnicki up 18. These new names for us are really making a name for themselves.
Yep. Sorry about this, Stella. We're working on fixing a little bit of the of our ticker up top, making sure I can show Mr. Andujar here as the correct name in our ticker up top instead of just showing 3rd.
Okay.
I think I'd probably
no.
assist.
Was it doing that?
Yeah, it was just showing 3. I think it'd probably be better if we got something better. See how number 26 up there? The 26th position?
Oh, dear.
That ain't right.
Yep.
Nope.
That ain't, nope.
All right, checking in on Dalton Tucker, currently sitting in 2nd.
I'm not sure his number was right either, though. What did you have for his number in the ticker?
01.
He's the 70.
No.
Oh, no. My bad. 01.
You're drunk.
01 it is.
You're drunk. We're not even halfway. Good Lord. Who used to do that during the broadcast? That was,
yeah. A couple of them in R&R.
Oh. No, I was thinking Bob Euchre when he was playing Harry Doyle.
Oh, sorry. I was talking for real.
Pretty real to me.
Well, we have the capability of doing cameras here on. Ouch! Stay off the wall. SimTraX broadcasting, and we found out in some circumstances it's not the best idea.
Yes, many people drink and drive.
Yes.
All right, let's check in on Skavenicki here. Here we go. Here's a little something moving on. That's right now the 43 machine. Getting around the 88 of Logan Hagerman.
But Kleba's having some swishy problems.
Yeah, Kleba's getting about that time. Lap number 39 is the last time that guy took tires. And he is praying he can hold on, as he's coming up on the 20-lap mark next time around. So tires worn out, running out of fuel, not enough weight in the back end of that car. And he's having a little bit of trouble. So continuing on for Dustin Kleba. I will say his charge has slowed down a bit. He was up there sitting top 3, and now is falling down to 10th. But Dustin Kleba had a 17.3 second pit stop time last time he was in. The only person to have a longer time than that was Vincent Arthur at a 27.85. Yeah, I don't know if he missed his pit box or if there was a jam up down pit road. Vincent Arthur definitely suffered the worst out of all of them out there.
Here comes our Home Depot car, Jacob Gladelick, coming into pit road, along with Christopher Heights.
Take a little look here, lap number 40. I want to see what happened to this guy. Comes down pit road. Whoa, okay. Into the box.
Yeah.
Boy, did you see how long it took him to do the right side tires?
I don't know. Maybe they were fixing something first.
I guess. Unless he had required repairs.
Well, now we got a little bit, few more people deciding that now is the time. Dalton Tucker, Chase Durham, Christopher Darling, and John Skevnicki.
Interesting shuffle up here.
Yep.
See how this keeps on going. Brian Jones. Whoa! He'll be coming down pit road. So now we'll roll back about 11 and a half seconds. Find Kroback. Yep, he's coming in. No doubt about that. Does Kirk Quist? Yep, he's coming in. Cody Reeder?
Yeah,
nope.
Nothing like... Nope, he is staying out. Nothing like coming from 190 to 55.
Yep.
Vincent Arthur's in.
Yeah, a lot of big names coming down this time.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, Vincent Arthur really tested his luck here. Horrible pit stop. Has to scoot forward, has to scoot back, and then again. Man.
Yeah.
Now, unusual for the Rainbow Warriors to have to deal with this. Normally the 24 is
definitely.
pretty stellar down pit road. Vince and Arthur not
18.
happy.
18.5 seconds for him.
Yep.
Just on this one.
Yeah, that's about 4 seconds too long. You wouldn't think 4
Yes.
seconds would mean that much. 4 seconds would put him pretty close up here to Kurt Quist. Kurt came down to lap number 60 at the same time. So Dustin Cleveland will be chasing.
From the 19th position.
Yeah. Still got a lot of drivers left to pit, though. Kyle Rochelle's coming in next. Boy, that guy's got some damage.
Yes. Should not be able to see the whole front of your tire.
Yeah. A good move there. He moves to the far outside lane. That's what you want to do. Nope, overshot. Bummer.
Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, Stellar, we're starting to see it get a little worse for some of our drivers out here. Cody Reeder and Matthew George have to be soon.
Pushing it too far, and they have they have slimy wheels by the time they're coming in.
There you go. All right, Brian Jones easily makes it past Bradley James. Remember, Bradley James ended up in our first caution here of the night. Excuse me, our second caution on lap number 13. He was the one that smashed into Chance Durham when he was sideways.
I thought that was our first caution. Lap 13.
Yes, you may be correct. I think the other one they held the yellow flag out for the formation lap. You're correct.
All right, got a couple more coming down now.
Yep. Cressy
You're
moves
coming
over
in
for
just-
Pocono.
Yeah, just in little spits and spurts, though. None of your fire sales.
No, not at all.
Our leader bringing it in, Cody Reeder.
Yep. You would think that'd be a red flag for anybody else. Logan Hagerman decides he's got another lap in him. He did pit a lap later.
Matthew George takes him up on it, as does Nick Pressey.
Yeah, expect Brad Fulham to come down, or he's going to hang out just one more lap longer, the same as Hagerman. Boy.
Brady Moats is the one that's got me curious. He's still at 42 is when he came in last. If he wants to stay on that lead lap, he has got to come in. 'Cause he's just hanging on by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Dude. Who just did the psych?
Oh, 38 of Derek Chapeau.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, he came in on lap 62, and whatever it is, that 38 car keeps hooking on turn number 3.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much more he wants to keep doing that. Chapeau currently holding the 22nd position. This is turn 2. You see how that car is just way out of shape.
There you go. Fulham came in.
All right, we'll take a look here. Chapeau enters 3. All right, good entry. A little too far down. All right, now watch when he comes out.
Yikes. Our last holdout from pitting in lap 43 is just coming in now, Logan Hagerman.
Yep, that's going to put Brian Jones quickly back into the lead as he pit back on lap number 60. Stellar time down there in the box with a 14:43.
And now he has a 3-second lead over second place Cody Smith.
Stella, correct me if I'm wrong. Taking a look at Dalton Tucker's pit stop time.
Yes, 13.43.
4.3. That was with 4 tires of fuel? Wow.
Well, Your call. I'd say we would be more down in the tens if he only did one side of tires. Why he would possibly, with all these green flags, do a short fuel run, I can't imagine. So your guess is as good as mine on that one. We also have Nick Eilis down in the infield care center.
All right, go ahead and bring him up and see what happened out there.
Okay. So, Mr. Geilis, I see you down there in our infield car care center.
Yeah.
What's happening? You've been down in pit for like 12 minutes? 13?
Yeah. So I decided to be the guinea pig for all of us that were in the chat, and take 2 tires because the left sides didn't wear.
No!
According to the crew chief, the left sides were pretty good. So we took it. It was a bad decision from the get-go. The car was slower. I was just trying to hold on, and then just one time off of 4, it just snapped to a point where I couldn't keep it, and absolutely murdered the inside wall.
Oh.
Yeah,
How did we miss that? I mean, it
I don't
did
know.
not cause a caution or a red flag or anything.
Well, I when I spun into pit road. So.
Oh, heavens.
I do get to keep my only causing 1 caution on the season streak alive, so I'm pleased with that. But
Stella, here
we're back to not finishing a race.
Oh, Patrick is. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. You put a new hole in that pit.
Yeah.
In that pit box.
It just went, and there was nothing I could do at that point. So.
Oh my goodness.
But I figured might as well send off the car the same way we started it. Not really, that wasn't the intention, but didn't finish Daytona, and I'm not going to finish the last race in these cars, but we're looking forward to next week. Penske will be in Fords, since we don't have the Dodge, and from what we're hearing, we're not going to be able to do the decals off, so it'll be Fords or Chevys only. So with Penske being a Ford affiliated team in real life in the past and in the present, I figured it made the most sense for us to go run the Fords.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to the new cars. The actual Twisted Sister car from 03, 04, that time frame. It's gonna be fun, and we're looking forward to Michigan. But
now I'm gonna ask a really stupid question because it was back in 04. It's not the Mustang. Is it like a Fusion or something?
It is the Taurus. Yep.
Taurus? Oh,
yep.
Okay.
The Chevy and Fords that we have running on track right now are the same. The body styles will look a little different when we actually do get to it because of the way the car is going to look, with it being all twisted and whatnot, because of how they ran them on the speedways. But the decals and the looks of them should be the same, although we don't know when we're going to have paint schemes. So it's going to be an interesting bit on that. But we look forward to it, and Michigan's going to hopefully be fun.
We
It'll be a good race.
To it also.
And credit to everybody. This is, I think Josh said in our pre-race, the biggest field that we've had since Daytona, and it's been, for the most part, pretty clean. Apart from what?
Yes.
I think 2 cautions?
Yes.
Hopefully no more. Shut up about that anymore.
Yeah. I know. Patrick told me I gave you the curse of the commentator. I said, hey, let's not forget Nick Eilis, and then you lost 3 places. I said, I'm so sorry.
But we're also thrilled. We finally got a Penske car in the top 10. Kurt Quist for us.
There you go.
We're having a good time.
Yeah. So many new names tonight. I am hoping they are not, here for just Pocono, that they're here for NORA.
That's what we believe, and we got to give a big shout out to our head of recruiting, as we're now calling him, Joey Stats. We don't know what it was, but he put out some posts, and all of a sudden we had people. Josh puts out posts constantly, and we get nothing. Don't know what it was, but Joey got engagement and got people in. So big shout out to Joey, and the whole admins, you guys, everything. It's a whole process with everybody. And I want to give a big shout out to our new race controller, Greg, doing full-time race control for us,
Awesome.
and really cutting down on some processes and helping us out. So I want to make sure. I think I hit everything on the net, Ed. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Hey, you're not usually up here. You want to shout out? I mean, other than the ones you just did, you got some sponsor shout outs?
I mean, I just run the base sponsors. I don't have any of my personal ones, but shout out Chris Heights specifically and Kirk Quist running my cars, and obviously Josh, and like I said, the admins, the whole nine. It's everybody. It's a whole show, the whole league, right? Everybody in here. We couldn't run green if it wasn't for everybody being as clean as they've been.
Agreed. You're going to have, the boo-boos here and there, but this is, I mean, we are on lap 73.
Yep.
Very good.
Thanks, guys, for putting this on, and it's been fun.
All right, and Guileless, appreciate you joining us up here, buddy. And hopefully your driver can end up coming out with a top 10. Currently shifted past Kaliba and is holding on to 9th. Good luck to you guys out there.
All right, thank you.
Shifting down to Team Penske down there. The way he is ready to go ahead and start helping them down there. A lot of work they've got left to do here in this race. So much trouble happening on different parts here of this track. Whether or not they are going to survive, that's hard to say. We'll hopefully we'll see the best come of it. Kevin Ballmer and Jake Christenberry are our guys down pit road currently. Looks a little bit of an early stop here, just under 15 seconds for Kevin Ballmer. In and out of the pit box. He's going to squeak out of there. Jake Christenberry squealing those tires out of pit road, and he's getting going. He'll be snugging in behind Derek Chapeau here, as right now Christenberry is watching Kyle Rochelle, who's coming at him at about 194 miles an hour. He's going to slick on by. Right now, Christenberry is getting up to speed, though. Great job by the 48. Be able to pit and stay on the lead lap, 21st position. We move up to Brian Jones, who's definitely trying to put in the work right now. As I said, Christenberry was not a lap down. Actually, he is. He did get passed out there by Brian Jones. That leaves us with the top 20 cars on the lead lap. Derek Chapeau last pit on lap number 62. And Brian Jones back on lap 60. So right now, Chapeau looks like he might be dead meat here, as currently Brian Jones is starting to reel him in.
They're coming to get you. Absolutely. Oh, that's an evil angle for that.
Yep. Let's give it that Jaws theme. Yep, as he's running him down. This is currently, we are sitting on the nose of Brian Jones. Look at that turn 1 difference. As he is getting ready to sling past him here.
Ouch. Nice and clean.
And on by he goes.
I cannot believe there is 10.5 seconds almost between first and second. What a huge space to try to make up from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I was even saying that Brian Jones with a 14:43 pit stop time, and Dalton Tucker with a 13:43. That is still some stellar time in and out of the box out there, and they can definitely tell it is paying off.
I mean, that's 1 second. You know, you think that's only 1 second from everybody else, but the rest of the field, I mean, we're looking at intervals of 5 seconds, of 10 seconds. Down here, like you say with Chapeau, we're looking at 8 seconds between him and the person in front of him.
Yeah. Well, we do poke around it a little bit here. That Josh Conover did pit back on lap number 56. So currently he is hitting that 20-lap mark. Currently it is almost time for the Budweiser machine to come down pit road. I would expect Josh Conover to try to hang it out one more lap here to see if he can stretch it and get a little closer to everybody else's pit stop times. Brian Jones pitting 4 laps later. And right now he is suffering a big fall off here. Currently times are about half a second slower for Conover and Brian Jones' last lap. And number 8 talks to the crew chief, says now is not the time. Down pit road, Josh Conover comes. That moves Chase Durham in the 99. And the Jeff Burton Roundup machine up 22 positions here on the night, currently holding second.
Roundup. Still make that even after all those lawsuits, huh?
Yep.
Oh, wait, 2004. We're safe.
Ouch. Ooh, is that
Again?
off the wall? Is that the number 6? Yeah, I think that was Keith Ayers. Ayers just ricocheted off the wall in the Mark Martin machine. We'll tumble up here. Right now he's kind of, looks like he's almost playing Touch Me Not out there with Andy Kroback.
I would think everybody would be playing Touch Me Not.
Yeah.
It would be different if we were doing that drafting thing where it's nose to tail and then it's like, okay, touch me a little bit. But not here.
Interesting race right now on the number 6. Right now I'm looking to see if he's got anything going on. Right now it dives deep into turn number 1. The last hard shot to the wall. Looks like he seems no worse than wear out there. His pit crew will take a quick look at that car. He last pit on lap 60, so he's probably got about another 2 to 3 laps, and he'll be joining down. Spotters got their eye on that right front tire here.
Now, the person who's actually in front of Keith Ayers is Kyle Rochelle in the 39. But we're looking at Dalton Tucker here, so that is how close they are actually to the front of being able to say, you know, whoa, get their lead back. Was that somebody else off of the Caterpillar car?
Yep, I think number 22 out there, Cody Smith.
That's a hole.
Had not been the Caterpillar car, big as this one.
Oh.
Kirk Quist smashed it off the wall there.
Yellow flag, red riding.
All right, coming up on the 40 lap to go mark here at Pocono. Appreciate you guys joining us here once again at SimTraX Broadcasting. We are definitely bringing you the best in iRacing. We are currently with the National Oval Racing Association here tonight on Monday nights, running the Gen 4 cars. Everybody pretty excited about how they run out here tonight. Pretty clean racing. Wow! Kirk Quist sidesteps it there. Looks like everybody else does avoid, and he doesn't get in any more trouble right now. I guarantee you Christopher Darling is currently sitting right behind him. Is absolutely blown away that he didn't just take the nose off his car. The National Guard machine will continue to chug forward. Brian Jones still holds the lead, though. Right now, a couple of drivers still hanging out there a little longer than we had expected. Christopher Darling, who came down on lap 59, as well as Skabanicki, who came down on lap 59. These guys still have yet to pit. They're looking to push that 21 lap limit. Brian Jones working his way down pit. This is our leader. That's going to give Anthony Kroback the lead. And the number 70, holy cow, 30 places gained. So starting from almost dead last.
I was going to say, start me in the back, take that.
Yeah, if he wasn't so close to needing to pit, he'll have to pit this next time around. I don't know if he'll have the lead lap, though. I believe Brian Jones did get across the line first down pit road. So he will enjoy his time in the lead, but I don't believe a lead lap. Cody Reeder's only about 5 seconds behind with a 3-lap advantage. So a lot of things happening. I know some of our viewers out there are definitely kind of scratching their heads a little bit. Why we mention pit time so much, it kind of gives you a definite feeling of what everybody else is doing and how everybody's rocking back and forth here on the track. Lap 20 to 21 is going to be our fuel window. As you can see, Kroback is heading his way on down now. That's going to give Cody Reeder the lead. Dustin Kleba will not be far behind, but Kleba decides to come down pit.
And all of Roush Racing, Christopher Darby and Keith Ayers, both came in and are back out on the lap.
Right, interesting strategy here for these guys. I would say even in the car, guys are starting to get pretty tired. Sitting there about an hour and a half behind the wheel right now. Even in the sim, this is pretty rough for our guys out there. This is normally when guys start lagging or losing judgment at times. I wouldn't say 100% any fault of their own, just that wall creeps up a little closer, we ricochet, and cars end up getting destroyed. So we'll see. We pray for it to go green all the way. And that way everybody can really rock and roll and enjoy this race and keep it going. Right now, Anthony Kroback, currently he had the lead there for a moment, comes back out after a full pit stop with 4 tires and fuel in 11th.
Yes.
That is how far apart our drivers are.
Yes. And here comes Matthew George giving up his second place spot to come down the pit.
Yep, pretty impressive. Cody Reeder will be pretty soon. I think either this lap or the next we will see him coming down pit road. Currently he's enjoying a 12.5-second lead over his teammate. But his teammate pit back on lap number 80, so it won't be long, down to 12 seconds for Brian Jones. He's already taken half a second in a matter of a turn. So quickly reeling him in is going to be the 45. That's what I was saying, if everything goes well right now, I think Cody Reeder may have the leg up here. Wow, Reeder changes his mind here and checks up just in time. I think he may be okay.
It looked about right. Speed-wise, I'm assuming you're talking about.
Yeah, it did look like he was almost at the 70-mile-an-hour mark, which is 10 over. We'll see Cody Reeder after a quick change. Realizes I don't think he can make yet another lap, and he comes on down. Let's see. 12.5, 13, 14, 15 seconds out of the box. All right, he made it. If he had sped in here, ladies and gentlemen, they would hold him in the box.
Comes back out in 12.
Crazy, isn't it? Brian Jones definitely has a winning strategy here. This guy's leading by almost 4 seconds over top of Logan Hagerman, and Logan Hagerman still needs to pit.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Which gives Brian Jones, I believe, looking at our lap 71 pitter of Cody Smith, a 6.5-second gap.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was already working my way down saying, okay, if he's on 80 to 65 to 71 and maybe even Baumler with 72 are all going to have to come in before he does. And the gap is going to be insane.
Yeah, for somebody who pit at least close to the time when he did, Anthony Kroback back there on lap 81. Suffering a 19-second deficit. That is a huge margin here. Somebody's slinging down pit road there. If I'm not mistaken, that should have been Brady Moats. Yep, it is. As Kurt Quist is coming down. I don't know if the 38 looped it there. Something looked wrong.
It did.
Tons of smoke, and Cody Smith coming on down. Lap number 65 is when Logan Hagerman pit. He is sticking it out there.
Here comes Cody Smith. Yep. I wonder, is he doing the clutching it, as you call it?
Maybe. I would say it's kind of a moot point.
I know,
really
but
assist anybody out there.
He's going to hit that 22 mark, which we really haven't seen anybody push too hard.
Yeah. And now he's at 130. Josh Conover creeping up on Days out.
Okay, now I have to know. What's he doing differently?
No idea, but I'm waiting to see it. Conover's going to bump him out of the way here.
Be very impolite.
Interesting camera angle here. Be able to see the right side of the car and inside the car. Interesting camera placement there that gives us an opportunity to see how these guys are passing around the outside. Yeah, this should be it for Hagerman. There's no way he's going to go yet another lap. There he goes. Oh, Hagerman coming down pit road.
All right.
Conover's got to come up with over 9.5 seconds to find Brian Jones in the front. Stella, we talk a little bit about here at Pocono. A couple of guys moving around out there. Some guys trying different strategies. But a lot of strategies do and don't work. We've heard a couple of guys that unfortunately lost their lives here at Pocono, and then different strategies were taken for these guys. If I'm not mistaken, I thought, was one of them an IndyCar race or a truck race?
Well, one of them I know he was actually killed by the nose cone of a car, and that was an Indy car. Let me see if I can find you exactly what they were driving, because they did so many different, iterations. Something would happen, and they'd pave a little piece of it. Something else would happen, and they would throw up some fencing. It was very, very unusual how they went about mitigating the things that happened at this particular track. They paved it finally when cracks started to appear, but they waited like 40 years. For a full repavement. Let's see, here's one. Response to safety concerns following a crash featuring NASCAR driver Casey Kane's car almost going outside the track's barriers. In 2010, more than 5,500 feet of safer barrier and 6,100 feet of catch fence was installed from turn 1 to turn 3. But as far as I know, it took them until someone else, it was a fatality of an IndyCar driver, that they put up the perimeter on the rest of it. So, kind of different. Kind of different.
Yeah, but Pocono isn't really a busy track. Not like Charlotte. Charlotte is very, very busy. Time year round. Pocono's just kind of here for about 9 or 10 races run on the surface, and then nobody's really out here. It's kind of a silent track here in the mountains.
Okay. I know they have a NASCAR race. They've got open wheel racing. Trans Am stuff or GT championships. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. They've been doing recently Elements Music Festival, so they're trying to get some other activities going, which would make sense. That's a lot of acreage and a lot of grandstands doing a lot of nothing.
Yeah, I knew they tore down the part of Pocono where they were working on the grandstands on the inside around pit road, and they were tearing that part down and completely revamping it. A couple years ago, I knew it was somewhere around like $200 million project. Yeah, for them definitely revamping the track, trying to change a few things up and get some more seats out there with different vantage points. Pocono being pretty tough out there, just getting people to the seats and out there and finding a good day in Pennsylvania. where guys can race. Normally, without it raining, without it being cold, I mean, it really has to be a primo day for it to happen, which we're looking at right here. I mean, we have an awesome track temperature.
yeah.
We got great air temperature. I mean, right now for race conditions, this couldn't be any better for these drivers.
Oh, agreed. I mean, you're talking about the weather. I mean, they started buying land and getting this place ready to go in 1962, but they didn't actually open until 1969. And the ribbon cutting, and that was just a little 3/4 mile track. The ribbon cutting for tonight's race, like the tri-oval, was still 2 years after that, 1971. And so much of it was based on rain, more rain, and then they tried to have a race, and oh, nope, there's rain. So whoever thought it was a brilliant idea to do it in, upstate Pennsylvania is crazy. And then to have spring races, don't know about that.
Yeah, and the joke is, this being everybody calls it the tricky triangle of what turn for. There is no other track like it, but I would say there is, because it takes 3 turns from 3 different tracks and makes one. So there is a track kind of like it.
Yeah, just piecemeal though.
Right. Alrighty. Brian Jones still leading this race here with just under 30 laps left to go. Josh Conover sits off him for just a bit a ways away. As I say that, how about just a bit a ways away, about 14.5 seconds.
Yeah.
For Conover sitting second. Dalton Tucker is within reach, though, 6/10 behind him for third. Moving on to Chase Durham in the 99. And the Roundup machine currently sitting fourth. He's gained 20 positions here tonight. Anthony Kroback sits in fifth. Dustin Kaliba is sixth. Moving on to Cody Reeder, seventh. Vincent Arthur in a fantastic 8th place. That's only 1 spot down from where he originally qualified. Christopher Darling has chugged up 16 positions to hang on to 9th. Matthew George up to 10th. Not bad here by Matthew George. He is the only driver who's yet to shift a position from his qualifying position. He's at least retained. And if he could get a top 10 finish, I think he'd be pretty ecstatic out there. Cody Smith will be looking to reel him in, though. 6.5 seconds he's got to come up with 26 to go.
Yeah, speaking of being 15 seconds behind between first and second place, the inaugural Cup race for NASCAR was in 1974. Needless to say, Richard Petty won that. But he won the race over Buddy Baker by 18.8 seconds. I'm curious to see whether we're going to touch that.
It's possible. Right now, Conover's trying to get him here. Trying to come up with something. We moved back to check in on Cody Smith in the 11th position. We almost saw him bulldoze the wall there for just a moment. As he exited turn 1 in the last turn, having a little trouble keeping on to that Caterpillar machine. And right now, the M&M sitting right behind him. Right now, that is Derek Chapeau. Right now, not having the most stellar night.
Yeah, well, we've got currently 17 on the lead lap.
Ooh, hey, we got somebody getting ready to slice through. Dalton Tucker gets a hold of second. Josh Conover doesn't seem surprised, though. Number 48 machine's sliding underneath. Jake Christenberry taking tires on lap number 90. Fresh tires for the 48 is going to see if he can slide on by. Cuts in front here of Josh Conover. Wow.
Thinking I got 2.5 miles out here and you got to cut me off?
Well, you definitely want to have a good turn entrance to every one of these turns. You get caught a little offline here, it's going to be in some trouble. Look again, Dalton Tucker riding up a little higher. That has allowed Conover to start kind of squeezing him again. But Conover has the same horrible turn. And now third goes right out the window there. And some of these guys are just unable to keep it together. Right now, only the top 17 drivers are on the lead lap. And I believe Bradley James is the last guy.
Yes.
Who is on the lead lap right now. The 41 machine caught on our first caution here of the night, back on lap number 13. Right now, he's got Brian Jones in his rearview mirror. And that's the leader there. Hagerman does have some time, though, about 5.5 seconds in front of these guys. See how much closer Jones gets to the wall. He's able to use as much as that kinetic force heading out of turn 3 to help him reel in the 41. As soon as that 41 gets in front of him, he's either fighting the dirty air or being able to use that draft to his advantage. No can do. All right, I believe some of our final pit stops may be happening. Josh Conover coming on down, and I'm really surprised seeing that our window's 20 to 22, best case scenario, and Conover's going to come down with not enough.
23 laps to go.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, he may miss this by a couple laps. Yeah, he would have to hope a caution comes out.
Yes, absolutely. But at that point, he would still have to come in.
Yes.
Right?
But
or
it'd be
would
able to
it
level
be
the playing
enough?
field.
Yeah, I just wondered, would it be enough to do caution laps? Do they not use as much gasoline, right?
Yes. But then everybody else would pit, and if he didn't.
Then it'd be a tire issue and not a fuel
Right.
issue.
Like the caution would have to happen in the next 3 laps. This thing drags out, let's say, 16 more laps, then a caution comes out. Conovers will be hung out to dry.
Well, he comes back in 16th. Ouch! So he's only like 2 cars away from being lapped down. So looking at that information, Kevin Baumler.
There you go.
I will. Gosh, I don't even hear myself do it. And I do it wrong every time. Kevin Baumler, I am so sorry. Pit on 88. He is going to be in good shape. Because he just needs one more.
Yes. Well, that's why I was getting ready to bring up Brian Jones here. Notice he's not passing. He is hanging out in the draft.
Oh.
Brian Jones notices he's not going to make it.
Okay.
If he pits on lap 100, he's going to be in trouble right here at the end. He's got to stretch it out. I think this is going to do it. So he was able to stretch one more lap. This will bring it with 20 to go as he pits. That should be plenty. Wow. I'll tell you what, that is some heads-up thinking here by the number 45. He knows exactly what's going on. So now with his time down pit road, entering the box, if we don't look at the RVs, there we go. Crowback coming on in. Wow, that was fast.
Top 4. All coming.
Cody Reeder sticking it out.
Vincent Arthur sticking it out an extra one.
Yep.
So is Christopher Darling and Matthew George.
Yep. Darling, the one with the most amount of laps on his tires right now. He came in on 80. Doesn't look like any draft help from 16. Brian Jones, after pitting, has 4th. Look at that.
Yes.
That's Christopher Darling right in front of him. Holy cow.
And you know all 3 of those fellas are going to have to come in.
Yep. Watch Brian
so
Jones
now you
here.
just bide your time. I'll be darned.
Yeah, Brian Jones. What a race this guy is having here tonight.
Yes.
What a race. Okay, keep an eye on what we got here in front of us. Brian Jones I don't know if anybody's going to be able to touch this guy. I think Brian Jones might have the win here if this thing just stays green. We move back here to Dalton Tucker and Josh Conover. Let these two guys go at it as Christopher Darling heads down pit road. Bradley James will as well. Currently, there's our two closest drivers out here on the track. Conover and Tucker moving up on Logan Hagerman. Right now, good fade to the outside. Number 8 looks like he stalls. And now we love to keep pushing. Right now, it looks like they had a solid run getting around the 88 there. Currently, Conover can't dive down like he wanted to. Hagerman holds him up from doing that. Vincent Arthur on his way down. Everybody pitting from henceforth is going to be fine on fuel and tires.
Okay.
The guys who are teetering on the edge will still be Krobeck, Jace Durham, Dustin Clevo, and Brian Jones. They made it 20 laps before. They should be able to do it again. I'm looking for Brian Jones, and who's his closest competitor with Krobeck. I believe he's got a 19-second gap on the number 70. Stella, you were wondering if we might be able to beat that time, and it's looking good.
It's looking good. Yeah, well, this will bring Brian Jones up to 3 wins for the season. Not bad at all.
No, not at all. This guy's had some bad luck every once in a while, but he has definitely fallen into some great luck, great strategy, and great racing. And so far, he has been almost untouchable here. Running down his own teammate that still needs to pit. Who came in on lap 83. He's currently hitting his lap 21 mark here for Cody Reeder, so he should be pitting this time around. Only 4 seconds off Brian Jones from re-obtaining the lead. And this guy has really put on a clinic. I think everybody else is rally capping for a caution out here, but once we get a couple of silly ones out of the way, a couple mistakes, everybody gets single file racing at the restart, and there's no chance of anything like that happening again. Right now, great job here by Jones going ahead and putting Brad Fulham behind him. They continue rocking up front. Reeder down, Brian Jones has the lead.
He is in the process of taking people down as far as more laps coming up on John Skavnicki and Jacob Gladelick in that next little clump. And that will take them off the lead lap.
Yep. That will only leave the top 14 on the lead lap. Right now, I think Brian Jones almost giddy right now as he's just trying to hit his marks out there, knowing he's got this thing almost secure. Right now, Dalton Tucker coming down on lap number 99 holds him to a 15.9 second lead. And Jones, I'm wondering if he is starting to fade off here just to make sure he's in the clear and not in any trouble losing this race.
Yeah, that would just be hateful.
Yep. Now he's noticing right now in front of him. Gladelick and Stavnicki are going at it.
That's when you think to yourself, stay out of the way.
It looks like it.
Well, I've got 16-second lead. I'm not going to get caught up if they have an accident.
Yep. All right, here comes Cody Smith up on Christopher Darling. Right now, Christopher Darling's still trying to come up with a little more speed out of that car to get a top 10 finish here. Not bad for a newcomer. Moving up 14 positions here on the night. He'll have the opportunity after this race to qualify for the next run. Right after this race.
And next week will be Michigan.
Michigan. Oh
I
boy.
think so.
Yeah, talk about a long track. Another long track out there. Long sweeping turns. If I'm not mistaken, Christopher Darling is also a winner at Michigan as well. think it was one of the races I may have showed you there, Stella, with the High Octane Sim Series. Out there with Haas, where he figured out how to break the draft with 2 guys chasing behind.
Oh, and then would go to the right and then go to the left.
Yep.
And then go to keep them behind.
Help
Yes,
the guy
I
on the
remember
top,
that
and then the
clinic.
straightaway help the guy on the bottom. And then on
Yes.
the turns, help the guy on the top. Yep. And that's how he kept him from catching him. Mind-blowing, wasn't it?
Yes, that was, as you call it, a clinic.
Yep. Jake Christenberry coming on down. In and out here, 9.3 seconds. Not enough fuel. May taking right side tires. He's going to get back out there. Unfortunately, scrubs his night.
Josh Conover came in again.
Yep. That's what I was saying. Guys are really, really hoping a caution was going to come out. And everybody's been racing very, very clean. And hopefully looking to get back at it.
Squeaky.
Yeah, I would love to see Nick Geilis be able to get back in the car and get out there. Right now, Leinbach out there in the 49 had retired back on lap number 68. Geilis has been able to put her back together and get back out there. Make up about 15 laps. He could have picked up another position. But
Doesn't Kevin Baumler need to come in or run out of fuel before the end?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe currently right now he is at his 20 lap mark on this lap. Yep, so Ballmer's going to be in trouble. Cody Smith, he's going to be in trouble.
Nick Pressey came in on 86. Still on the lead lap. So if Baumler came in on 88, okay, here he comes. Okay.
He's coming. Hold on.
I was getting nervous. I didn't want to have to go out there and push a car around with a go-kart.
Start mathing.
Yeah.
Check in on Dustin Kleba. Boy, Kleba has a chance to get a hold of third, though. Getting hemmed up, though. Robot. Yeah, back right here, looking for it here. Reeling out the 70, pushing him toward the back. Now he's got to take the 99. Let's see if he's got a little something for him here. Sit on board here with Dustin Kleba. Kleba having to run the guy down in front. Ooh, has a bad turn. Kleba ready to attack. He's watching him now. Does he dive bomb into 3? Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Wow.
Hard shot here, not clear yet.
Close. No, he's not.
These guys at the line, Kleba would have had him. Right now, checking the timing, they are still door to door.
We are 10 laps to go.
Yep, this is for the 3rd spot. And, ooh, man, Chase getting loose.
So is Crowbot.
Yeah, great race. Look at these guys. I think this is for the 3rd position. Dustin Kleba taking a look for it. Kleba now caught to the outside. Chase Durham, great job here. Right now, I will probably join Nick Geilis in saying great job by Joey Stats as he picked up some talent out here.
Yes, he has.
All right, Krobach looking right here in the 5th position, looking forward at these two going at it from his angle. Only by 3/4 of a car length. Kleba will have him into turn 1, but they switch positions. Last time around, they were the opposite. Right now, they both ride up. The 99's tires are starting to feel it.
I'm starting.
Kleba finally gets the clear. Let's check back in on Matthew George. Matthew George, I think, was working on Christopher Darling. Darling's now pulling away. Remember I said Darling was sitting in 11th, currently 8th now. 17 on the night. Kroback right now is up 26. What a great job this was. The number 70 coming out here and making it look easy.
Yeah, well, all these fellas started in the back because they were very last-minute joiners to the league, which is standard. You got to have yourself, set up and qualified. But I don't think one of them was even worried about it. I mean, they are making a fantastic showing this evening.
Yep. A couple of cautions out there seem to work in some of their favor, but not completely. Let's check here again.
Oh.
Chase Durham. This is the battle for 4th. These two are looking to go at it. If I'm not mistaken, I think even Logan Hagerman is getting ready to make a move on Gladilek back there, but we'll stick here with our 4th spot. Ooh, nice little shuffle up there. Kleba finally breaks free, and now he's got separation. You see him in the red car just in front. Kleba's got to scramble for another 2 seconds to find Dalton Tucker. All right, good job there. Back to Matthew George. Matthew George having an opportunity. Remember, George was passed by Christopher Darling. And it looks like Darling gets kind of
coming back.
Yeah, squeezed there by the 0 car of Nick Pressey. Pressey down in the 22nd position. Pit on lap 108. Pressey should be able to drive away from these guys, no problem.
Yeah, I do want to bring the attention to one person we haven't talked about because he's been way in the back for so long, Mr. Brady Motes, the number 1 car. Do you know he put down now the fastest lap of the night with a 55.418?
And on the lead lap. No, I lied. Only the top 11 are on the lead lap.
Yeah, he was for a smidge, and after starting 3 laps down, that was pretty darn awesome. But no, still, that's just to be able to set the lead, the fastest lap of the night. I find that kudos to you.
All right, let's move back to our 4th place battle. Kroback looking here to the inside, and now Chase Durham not looking to give up at all. And a great run. Tell you what, these guys are really letting each other have it here. I'm wondering if these guys know each other.
I don't know, but I like it.
Ooh, little sliding here.
Ha! Yes, okay. Wasn't sure if we were going to need to Vaseline those bumpers.
Pretty close. I could probably use it off the side of the wall, though.
Yeah. Maybe they'll start making, Nick Pressey off track. Like way off track?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
All right, Pressey going to be taking it down in the pits. Let's see what caused this. Oh, off the wall, into the grass, making a couple of jumps. RC will not be throwing a caution for this.
Nope, he stayed off the racing surface.
Yeah, Pressey not a happy camper.
End the night with 4 laps to go. Ouch.
Check this out. Matthew George for Christopher Darling. Still going at it. This is a run for 8th. Kroback did get a hold of Durham. We sent him back. It's really sucked. We've been calling him Durham and Durheim.
But he just has to come into the Discord so I can check.
Yep. Check him back in, give him a quick peek to Logan Hagerman. The second we put Gavin behind him. Look at that, door to door. Let him go out. I think the 88 may have a better run here into this turn. Yep, he's going to clear him here. Barely as the 43 tries to roll on through. No can do. Didn't get him. Tough move here. This should be turn 3. Everybody's trying to stick it down there on the bottom. As the 88 wash up into him, 43 slips a little bit. That's going to give it to him.
That's it. Man, the tiniest little slip up or maneuver, and that's all she wrote.
Yep. We move 18 seconds ahead to check back in on Christopher Darling in the Matthew George battle. It seems to have fizzled out a bit. Let's check back. Move 19 seconds backwards again. Look to see Kevin Balmer. I believe currently he's still hanging out with Jacob Gladelick. The worries still go to drivers like Dalton Tucker. Pit on lap 99. Yep, he's going to have to stretch this one out.
2 laps to go.
17.4 seconds ahead is Brian Jones.
Cody Smith will be in the same boat, also pit on 99.
Boy, look at that. White flag is out as we're watching our second place driver enter turn 3.
Oh, man.
As we pull up the track position on the map, you'll see the one there to your right. And the number 2 is crossing the start-finish line down in the bottom of the middle. Wow.
Yes.
Great job here so far. And like I said, white flag is out. And coming to the line will be Brian Jones here for the win. Yep, entering the final turn here goes Brian Jones. And heading for the start-finish line. No problems out of him. Gets a hold of the win with 17.5 seconds to the next person behind him. Great job here by Brian Jones. We can move back to Dalton Tucker, who's only 1 second ahead of Dustin Kaleba. Great job by Kaleba trying to run him down, though. But just unable to finish it off. Dalton Tucker second, Dustin Kaleba third. Ooh! Well, somebody got hit there in the back.
I don't know, but we are still racing. That's Vince Arthur trying to get one more spot.
Yeah, Vincent Arthur was able to finish 6th.
Over Cody Reeder.
Yeah, that was...
who was 9 100ths behind him.
Yeah, I think that was Andujar. The 01, and I think the 38 got in, or it was Derek Chapeau. Yep. Body guys thought they were going to get an easy night.
Huh.
They will be heading back. Good Lord. Brian Jones, I believe, has gone ahead and heading back to victory lane. There's a couple of the guys still racing it out here. So I believe our race has completed.
Okay. I'm really hoping everyone has made it across.
Yes.
Finish line. Okay.
Crossed and finished. What a job here. What a job. Appreciate you guys hanging in here with us with the Pocono 500. Definitely a long race. Guys are tired. And we will be getting a hold of the last of them here. And we'll talk a little bit about how their race went. Glad to see a driver from Chip Nossi Racing able to come up with something here tonight. especially Evernham Motorsports. These guys were definitely doing something. And they seem to have this thing just right. Cycle through the last of our drivers here. Yeah, shame Tommy Smith wasn't able to load up.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, don't forget to check In the Fence podcast out there by Dustin Kleba and Cody Reeder. These guys will recap how the race went here tonight. They'll also talk about races coming up, what the league is looking forward to, and their take on NASCAR and what is going on out there as well. But from here on out, we're going to go ahead and try to find our drivers in the top 3. Dustin Kleba will be first, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Third place finisher here, Dustin Kleba. What a run, man. Terrible qualifying time, but you nailed down a third place finish here tonight. A lot of strategy, a lot of driving, hard driving. Anything you would have changed here tonight to maybe help your chances run down your teammate, Brian Jones?
Yeah, probably would have decreased my pit speed by about half a mile an hour. And then maybe would have been able to compete there for it at the end. But no, it was a good race. Going from wasn't here last week, so wasn't able to qualify. But going from 16th to 3rd in about 14 laps was a good time. And yeah, then driving back from about 25th to 3rd through the next 100 and so laps. Yeah, that was fun too. Wish we didn't have to do that, but is what it is. We'll take the top 3.
I think you were going to be the man.
Exciting evening.
Yeah, I think you were going to be
Yeah,
the
that's
man
right.
to beat here tonight. I think you were one of the favorites. A lot of shuffling around out there on the track with new drivers. Do you notice anything different, or is it like they've been in the league the whole time?
Nah, honestly, I couldn't ask any better of all the new guys. It was great that we had a pretty big car count. Seemed like there's a lot of racing out there. Not too many guys just running around by themselves. Seems like everybody was kind of around somebody, but there's still the respect that we've had all season. So, yeah, as far as it goes, everybody that joined this week is more than welcome to keep coming back, and that's all you can ask for, man. Just keep good, respectful drivers coming in.
Long speedway, wide sweeping turns, and a lot of guys are going to be pushing the envelope next week at Michigan. You know, you excited about heading there?
Yeah, Michigan's always a good time, especially with these cars. I think the big unknown is the cars we've been racing with for the last, 15 some weeks are going to not exist anymore. So the new build coming out this week means updated Gen 4 car next week, and everybody's going to have little to no laps on it. So, I don't know. It could be crazy. Yeah, it's going to be kind of weird. We're all going to qualify with a car that we aren't going to race with next week. So, yeah, if there's a race to watch, everybody tune in.
All right. And also, speaking of tuning in the field podcast, In the Fence podcast, talk to me a little bit about it and give me shout outs while you're at it.
Yeah, we've been kind of slacking on uploads lately. Cody and I have middle of summer, and our day job of, just family and everything else has just been kind of getting in the way. But Typically, we try and upload every Tuesday morning. We just like to talk about NORA and give updates about the week in the race and kind of compare what we see from what we experience and then to the 2004 real life race. So then of course we always have to talk real life racing, current racing, and always have to bigger with each other too, because that's just how we are. But yeah, look up In the Fence on Spotify. And I don't know if we're gonna have one tonight. I got some traveling to do this week. We'll see, but for sure next week.
Awesome. No shout outs or anything. Say thank you, Josh.
Oh gosh, sorry. Sorry. I went on a long tangent. Shout out to all the family that watches every week, and Josh for putting on the league, of course. I'm sorry, man. I was more than 30 seconds behind the leader, and I got it down to 18 seconds. So when you get it to that, you just like, it kills you, dude. Like I'm gutted over this one. This sucks, but yeah, we'll go on to the next week, and of course, thank you to you two for always bringing the action every week.
Yeah, not a problem, buddy. Not a problem. Now go qualify for Michigan.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy. All right, moving on to our second place finisher, Dalton Tucker. Well, you finished exactly where you started this race, Dalton, and I guarantee you a couple of changes may have needed to be made. You know, your pit stops out there could have been a little better out there, but you were following with a lot of your team out there. You know, 4 tires and fuel is obviously a must, but what else could we have done?
Well, that was my problem, because I actually took 2 tires around lap 60 or so, I believe, and by taking 2, I lost about 15 seconds right there over the course of that run, and that was essentially the difference between me and Brian. And I don't know if I would have got him if Dustin didn't make his mistake. I think he had everybody covered, but those 2 tires, I mean, I was looking at the percentages and thinking I can probably still drive it. It probably won't be that much slower, and I can make up a couple seconds on the pit stop. Yeah, I was sadly very wrong on that.
Wow. So that's what did you in. Boy, you know, we see a lot of guys that were shuffling around out there, moving up for some placing, a little bit of battles for the lead out there. Josh Conover hanging around. Cody Smith had gotten some lead time. I mean, there were a ton of lead changes here tonight, but you definitely kept your cool, especially when you were out in the lead. You definitely had all that fresh air to the nose of the Haviland machine. What in the world, you know, did Brian Jones come up with out there? Was the lines just a little funny? And how hot, you know, was the heat of the track to your liking, or was it just too slick?
I think Brian, I mean, he just ran a perfect race in order to win. So, I mean, there's nothing more, I guess, he could have done in that sense. But he just ran exactly what he needed to. And when they passed me on that restart, my whole goal right there was just to take it easy, save tires. I'll get them at the end of the run. Well, it got so hard to pass that I could get back to him, but you just couldn't work up anything to get around him. It's just, it was fun having all the different guys up front battling and things like that, but that was stressful after I took those 2 tires.
Yeah, and with the new guys out here, and a great job they did. We had a couple cautions right there at the beginning. It could have been 1,000 times worse. We'll be heading to Michigan next week. Plenty of opportunity there. You know, we're going to see you back in Victory Lane.
I'm going to do everything I can. I think Michigan's going to be a lot like Pocono, where it's going to be some tight racing on restarts, and then it's going to kind of string out a little bit, and we should have some green flags, but it's going to be tough. Michigan's a fast track, especially in this car. It's definitely going to take some practice on saving tires, and you got to be perfect on these pit stops to race with people like Brian and Dustin, and just, you can't make mistakes. You can't make the wrong strategy calls. This 2 races now that it's caught me, Charlotte and now this one, but just gotta be perfect to win against some of these guys.
Well, that's all right. You'll have the opportunity next week at Michigan, and I'm sure we'll see you up front. I even said during our grid readout, no doubt in my mind, Dalton Tucker starting in second. You finished second here tonight. What an awesome job, man. Yeah, I think that should do it for me. Go ahead and give me shout-outs here, bud.
Definitely with all the newcomers for this race. If we didn't have them, there's no telling what the field size would have been for a race like Pocono. You need car counts for these big tracks, and appreciate all them for signing up and getting out here. As always, appreciate y'all in the booth. It's gonna be interesting to see just certain aspects of the race, I guess. I don't want to watch some of it, but just appreciate what y'all do. Shout out to my teammates. Had a little bit of mistakes, but overall, I think they did good and good promising speed at least. And just appreciate what Josh does for this league. I know him and Joey have been busy recruiting, so huge shout out to them. I think it's going to be a great league moving forward.
Yep, and especially with the car count, I mean, almost doubling here in the past couple of weeks. Boy, I can't wait to see what we got coming up in Michigan. Go ahead and qualify, buddy, and we'll be rooting you on here from the booth.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah. All right, the number 42 doing an awesome job. We move on to our winner here tonight of Brian Jones. His team comes 1-3-7 here tonight for Evernham Motorsports. You seemed almost untouchable here tonight, Brian.
Well, I'm not really sure what happened because Pocono's my worst track. I hate Pocono. They need to bulldoze this place. And I was just going to go out there and just run laps tonight. Then I kind of wound up near the front. And then the other two guys who were fast with me, they kind of shot themselves in the foot and came out with the dub, I guess.
But flawless here. It seems anybody we've talked to, even Nick Geilis was saying that taking 2 tires was suicide. As soon as you take 2, your race is pretty much over with. Dalton Tucker said that's what did him in. Dustin Kleba had a pit road, mishap. Tonight it was nothing but 4 tires and fuel for you, and it looked like you were a little nervous there on one of those stints that you might not have enough fuel. You had to stretch it out a lap or so.
Yeah, I think there was a caution that came out, and then we had we're kind of stretching fuel there on the very first stint, but I was able to make it, and I think I pitted 2 laps after Dalton Tucker, and I was thinking that maybe the 2 laps fresher tires was what made the difference. But then come to find out after the race that I guess Dalton took 2 at one point, and that did not work out for him. So I'm glad that I didn't try to do that.
Boy, that is just going to be something. Stella said said earlier, this will be your 3rd win here of the season. Not bad here, especially when we're starting to get to the later half here of the season. When we start kind of drumming this up a little bit. Your playoff chances are looking fantastic. Everything is looking great, but we head to Michigan. Do we keep this roll going, or is we kind of gambling here that, we may hit a cold spell or a slump and then maybe get back to it?
Well, I'd like to say that I have any idea what's going to happen at Michigan, but I'm about to go qualify, see where I can start in that race. But we're going to be on a different car next week. I have no idea what that car is going to feel like, how it's going to drive, if I'm going to like it, if I'm going to hate it. So it's I just have no idea what's going to happen next week.
Yeah, and this I think actually takes you out of the Chevrolet. I see your decal has a Dodge, so you're either going to be in a Ford or a Chevrolet next week. A lot of guys are realizing that they're either going to be in the same car or not in the same car. So you may qualify well at Michigan, and then the car be a complete scrub when we get out there next week. We'll see
Exactly.
how Josh wants to play that, if he makes you guys push it a week or whatnot, to see if you can save yourselves, because this is going to be a rough run, man. It's going to be a rough run, but not like how you had tonight, man. This thing, you were on a rail. It seemed everything went your way, and definitely awesome job coming away here with a win. Brian, give me your shout-outs here, brother.
Yeah, just big shout out to my teammates, Dustin Kleba, Cody Reeder, everybody over there at Evernham Motorsports. They really helped me kind of find the line tonight. I didn't know what I was doing kind of going into the night, so we figured it out as we went. Also, big shout out to Expel. Father's Day is coming up, and if you haven't got a gift for a father in your life, just go over to expel.com/shop. There's all kinds of car care products, iron removers, foam cannons, wash kits. You can use code Atlantis20 at checkout for 20% off of that. Also, big shout out to Home Field Apparel. They just did their big Indy 500 merch sale, so still lots of Indy 500 stuff there, as well as collegiate apparel. Go check that out.
Awesome. Brian Jones, congratulations on yet another win. I have a feeling this will not be the last time I talk to you. Good luck to you in Michigan, buddy.
Thank y'all.
All right, Stella, what a job this was by Brian Jones. He definitely put on a show here tonight, day in, day out. He seems to have this thing under control. And I would say, he does have a lot of experience in the sim, but man, he definitely made it happen. LJ Hernandez, and I need to now see Atlantis King out there rooting on the 45, saying, yeah, yep, 45 comes away with the win. Anything left to add before we sign off here, Stella?
Oh yeah, I'm figuring this was his 6th podium finish. It definitely won't be the last. See y'all next week.
Yeah, awesome job. Remember, cars will be changing next week. I'm hoping car numbers will not be changing, but I'm sure Nora will keep you posted, and we'll try to stay right on the cutting edge of what we have going on in the iRacing world. You'll find us over at Bandit Racing League on Wednesday and NSR on Saturday. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of things are happening, and we are going to make sure we stay on top of it. But from all of us here at SimTraX Broadcasting, we bring you the National Oval Racing Association Gen 4 Cup Series. Be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys next time.